Yo, what's up, everybody? I have been away for a minute, but I'm back and I'm on the attack. I am going to answer a few questions for some of you guys that asked me some of those questions. Sorry, I've been away. I was in Minnesota for 2 weeks, actually about a week and a half, and then actually went to the prayer caves. If you actually click on prayercaves.com, prayercaves.com, they're actually in San Bernardino, the best kept secret in Los Angeles. I went there and I prayed for 4 days, just fasted on water and just sought the Lord. It was amazing. Really came back refreshed, refocused, recharged, and I'm ready to rock. So, I'm going to go ahead and answer some of these questions here. We got my man Katsy. Yo, what's going on, Kats? I know you're in Long Beach. Good to hear from you, bro. And your question is, how do you deal and answer with people who criticize you regarding your theology and ministry? Well, that is a very good question. I would say, honestly, you got to respond the way that Jesus responded. Whenever Jesus was criticized, interestingly, he never tried to argue with them. Rather, if he was put on the spot, he would ask a question, or he would propose a truth for them to deal with, or sometimes just ignore them. And so, for me, a lot of the times when people criticize my ministry, which I do get a lot, all kinds of interesting things through 10 years of ministry. You'll have people that just hate you, people that think you're from the devil, people that think you're just all kinds of different accusations towards you. And honestly, it does hurt, and a lot of times it may hurt your ego, it may hurt your pride. But the first thing that I always do is, someone criticizes me or someone says something against me, the first thing I do is say, God, is what they're saying true? Because I don't want to be blindsided, and I want to keep an open heart. I want to keep a learning heart. And so many times if someone criticizes me or says something against me, before I get defensive or I get prideful or I try to attack or I try to rebuke or refute, I just ask God, is what they're saying true? Is what they are saying against me true? And if it is, God, I repent. God, give me understanding, and I'll act accordingly. But the second thing, if whatever's said against you is not true, a lot of the times I just ignore it, because you're always going to have people that don't like you, and you're always going to have people that you can't please, and there's always going to be people that are going to expect more from you than what's realistic. And so for me, a lot of times I just try to stay focused on the mission, man. And the mission is doing what God's called you to do. And so for me, it's just preaching the gospel, staying true to the Great Commission, making disciples of all nations, and just being a witness, and just keeping the main things the main things. A lot of times I don't have time to look to the left or look to the right and get distracted. And that's what the enemy will try to do. He'll try to use people to attack you, or to put your name or your ministry or your theology or your reputation on the line, or try to smear you, or try to put you in a bad light in the public. But really, let the truth be the truth. The truth will be told, in the end. The truth never lies. And so if you know that your heart is an integrous heart, and you know that you've done nothing wrong, and your theology and what you believe in and what you do consciously and towards God and towards others is biblical and pleasing to God, and you're doing it with all your heart, then no one can condemn you but God. And so lastly, only God can judge. And so sometimes, though, if it does take for some clarification, there could be some miscommunication, or someone thought something but it wasn't true, and then it's affecting a lot of other people. So I'll really evaluate it. I'll bring it to other people and say, hey, do you think I should go back and clarify my point, or what I said, or what I believe? And if it's something that's going to help others, I may take the time to do that, but I'll only do it if, after some counseling with other people, they feel like it's a good thing to do, and my heart's in the right place, and I'm not going out to attack the person or try to justify myself or try to make myself, seem like I'm right. I think the worst thing a minister could do is always think that he's in the right position, that I am right, that I am God, that I know it all. And sadly, I think a lot of us come from that place because we're insecure a lot of times, and we don't want to be wrong. We don't want to be put in a bad light, and we don't want to feel like we're small. And so we immediately lash back or attack, or we react, with anger or trying to refute or justification, which I don't think is God. Jesus was hanging on the cross, and he did not complain, the whole time. He did not try to defend himself. It was all part of God's plan, and he let God be his vindicator, and Jesus got the last laugh. Satan didn't get the last laugh. Jesus did, and he is the accuser of the brethren. And so when you see people accusing you, most of the time it comes from the enemy. And but if you ignore it, let God deal with it, and you got to trust in the Lord. So that's what I would say to you, Catsy. Number one, just check your heart. Number two, just let it go. Ignore it. Don't let it get to you. And then the other three is just to pray and bless them. Bless your enemies. That's what the Bible says to do. So pray for them. Pray for your enemies.
To heaven.